Hello, this is the Movie Night Society, and today we're talking about the Batman. I feel like that was a very non-energetic intro for like a comic book movie. Like most
Man,
comic book movie YouTubers are going to be like, "Hello, everybody, and
Oh,
welcome."
stop already.
maybe it's fitting for this movie.
I just clicked
The
off.
dark and brooding, less
Dark
a
and
little bit,
brooding.
more somber. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm Batman.
Um. Yeah, we're talking about the Batman. I think this is the most recent movie we've talked about. We might talk about another movie soon, but that we saw. But this was Will's pick, and Will, you were the only one who hadn't seen this movie, so I'm curious. Well, I mean, I know you wanted to see it because it's the Batman, and you hadn't seen it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But what are your initial thoughts on it?
My initial thoughts as soon as I saw it were this was good, but I think it could have been better with some of the fat trimmed out. I think 3 hours was way longer than this movie needed to be. I don't know if I'm the only one that might think that. I'm sure like a lot of people seem to like superhero movies to be like 2-3 hours long. And I think it's just not needed for most of them. I get with certain movies like Infinity War or like Spider-Man No Way Home, like they're trying to do so much. I get those being as long, but I just didn't think this needed to be very long. Despite that, though, I think you guys were right where it doesn't feel like a 3 hour movie.
Yeah.
But I did think there were a lot of slow scenes and a lot of things that didn't really progress the plot too much. That I saw myself kind of looking at the timer for the movie and just like, how much longer is this thing going to go on? Stuff like that. But it was pretty enjoyable all the way through. I liked the Riddler stuff probably the most, just off the top of my head. And I thought the Catwoman stuff was fine, but I definitely felt it was the weakest part of the movie for me, at least. I just wasn't caring too much about her storyline. I wasn't caring about her and Batman's relationship. Just wasn't feeling that. But there was a lot of good that I think that was like the foundation was laid in this movie. It kind of made me think a lot about Batman Begins. I like Batman Begins a lot, and it's like Batman Begins is I think it's a good movie, but it's like the right pieces are there. It's just like not quite there. And then the Dark Knight came out, so it's
The
I
Dark Knight.
feel the Dark Knight, yeah, the Dark Knight. I think I feel very similar to this movie like I did with Batman Begins, where I think the right pieces were there, but it's like missing something to really make it great. But overall, I still did enjoy the movie quite a bit. So that's like my initial thoughts.
Yeah, I was thinking of like how should we talk about this movie because I feel like everyone's seen it and there's not really a reason for us to like break it down plot by, point by point in the plot. So I figure like what we could just talk about what we liked and what we didn't like with this movie. Because yeah, like chances are you've seen it. It's on HBO Max. It was yeah, everyone's gonna see a Batman movie. Um, okay. I have a question for both of you. After I saw this movie in theaters, and after kind of walking out, there was like a group of teenagers, like behind me and my friend, and like they were all talking to each other, and one of them was like, "So is it? Do you guys think it's better than The Dark Knight?" And all of them said yes. And I guess I'll ask you guys: do you think it's better than The Dark Knight?
Not for me, no,
I think
not
it
at
is.
all. Mm.
Okay, so Dustin, you think I think like parts of this movie I really like more than The Dark Knight, but I think overall I think The Dark Knight is better. Um, it's definitely it's hard like not to think of how good Heath Ledger's performance is in comparing the two because like it's such a strong performance that it kind of elevates that movie. This movie, I like the performances, but I didn't find a single one that like really stood out. Uh, Maybe Penguin.
He was
But
good.
he's not in the movie too much though. But
No,
he's really good. I was like, I think I knew going in it was Colin Farrell in that makeup, but like, man, you can't tell while watching it. It's like it's crazy.
I
I
think
actually thought that was not makeup. I literally thought they cast some like fat dude and they added maybe the nose. I'm not kidding.
I know it looks
it looked really
amazing.
good.
Yeah,
I only found out it was him after because I just so happened to see like a weird comparison photo of him regular without makeup and then his costume on Instagram. And I was like, no shot, that's that guy. And then it was. So yeah, I literally
yeah,
thought it was just some big dude that had
yeah.
and they
Even
fucked with the nose.
his performance too, like it doesn't feel like
I really
Colin
liked him.
Farrell.
I really
Yeah,
liked him as the Penguin. He just wasn't in it a whole lot, which is understandable.
You knew he
yeah,
was a scumbag from like the beginning, bro. Like in the Iceberg Lounge when
Yeah,
Batman's talking to him, like he's fucking with him the whole time.
I
He's like,
thought he
"Oh,
really
is that the
nailed
fucking
Penguin.
mayor?"
yeah.
And
I
it's
like
just
I
like,
liked it a lot.
oh,
I like his
yeah,
performance.
that part was great. And
I think
yeah,
the Riddler, it was kind of like the standout character for me in this. I really
yeah,
liked the Riddler.
I liked
I
the
loved him.
character and the perform. I don't know
I'll tell you why I
when
like him.
he's okay. Go
Other
ahead.
than going too in depth to it, the main part is one, I'm currently still on my true crime like serial killer documentary type shit right now. So that hit immediately with like the Zodiac stuff, and I think he even said he
Yeah,
used it a little bit. And I think, and I guess I was thinking this subconsciously, but I read a comment from some discussion post on Reddit, and the guy said, because I guess some people saw what was the actor's name that plays him? I forget.
Paul Dano or Dano.
Paul
I don't know how you pronounce his
Dano.
last
I'll just
name,
say
but
Dano, I guess. But Paul Dano. I don't. I'll just say Dano. Actually, it sounds more natural. Paul Dano. He. I get why people say this, but they said he looked like weird without the mask on. Like people were making memes about it, and I kind of get where they're coming from because he looked like a normal dude, which I'm totally okay with. But then the
I
comment.
liked that
Oh, no. I loved
aspect.
it. I loved it. I'm
Yeah,
just saying it was a controversy that I saw. And I read this comment on Reddit that said that's like one of the greatest things about him is like serial killers literally look like regular ass people, and he just
yeah.
is a normal guy. They didn't have to like put him in makeup or do anything crazy. It was literally just like that. Honestly, other than the jumpsuit that he wasn't wearing, thank God, like Jim Carrey. This was like the most realistic like portrayal of that kind of character. Other
It's
than
very
like,
grounded. This whole movie was obviously very grounded, so it fit for
Yeah,
the movie. Having someone like bright green spandex would not have worked.
no, not
that
at
would
all.
have been hilarious.
That would have
That
been
would have
Would have
been
been
hilarious.
so
funny.
Probably for
bad.
the wrong reasons, though.
Yeah, yeah. I really like the Riddler in this movie. But I don't something about his performance when he is like unmasked when he's like in the jail cell. It feels like a little bit too over the top, but I guess that's fine. Like I didn't really have too big an issue with it. Um, so I guess like that's a standout
I
performance.
mean, I don't think it's over the top for a guy that just basically doomed an entire fucking city. Thousands of people are dead.
Yeah,
I think I get what
Like,
Julian means, but I didn't have it. It didn't
I know what you mean, but I mean,
deter for me at all.
have you seen like some of these interview tapes, and not even for famous serial killers? Like they're fucking crazy, dude. Like
oh yeah,
singing and like
I just
same
ordered a
with
piece
just
of pumpkin
any
pie.
any
My
kind
brother
of
thought that line
terrorist.
was really funny. I don't know, just me.
Insane.
yeah. Uh, yeah. I guess we're spoiling things too. Like I don't know if I mentioned that, but
It's a spoiler review of the movie.
spoiler alert, whatever.
I mean, it's almost impossible to talk
we
about these
always
type of movies without spoilers. So
yeah. I mean, we always spoil, and plus that
we discuss
scene
the
was
whole
in the
movie
trailer.
usually. So
Yeah. So
Wait, I have a question before we move on from the beginning, real quick.
okay.
Too far from it. Now, in my opinion, my favorite out of Marvel, DC, like whatever, my favorite comic book movie like opening of all time was The Dark Knight Rises with Bane.
Oh, on the plane.
Yeah, I think everything. I love the soundtrack. Speaking of, but it just happened to be a Batman movie. But the opening to this, I almost like just as much. And I'm curious, even though The Dark Knight Rises might not be on this level, like the movie wise, this is just for me. Like, what opening do you think is better? This one with like all the people looking into the shadows and him with that first fight, or the whole Bane just
I
struck?
think this one.
I
This one captivated me pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I guess I feel more like The Dark Knight Rises had a stronger start for me.
Okay.
Yeah, The Dark Knight Rises,
I'm kind of
it's
forgetting about like I was kind of forgetting about that part at the beginning until you said something, Dustin. Whereas The Dark Knight Rises, I haven't seen in a while, and
yeah.
immediately I still remember the whole plane sequence because I haven't really seen a whole lot of other movies do something like that. So
Yeah.
that one immediately just is more memorable for me.
Yeah. I I honestly like if I think they're level right now, but I feel like as time goes on, I'm gonna like The Dark Knight Rises more. But I think maybe right now just a little bit more because it's fresh and new. I think I like this one better temporarily, but not by a lot because The Dark Knight Rises was sick. But this one was
Well,
so
wait. But do you like it more than The Dark Knight?
the overall,
Yeah, with with the Joker.
yeah. I personally I think this is, and I'm not like an extremist about it, but I think this is the best Batman movie ever.
I think it's, man, it's like I agree with that sentiment in some ways. I love the atmosphere and look of this movie. Like I feel like they nailed the noir kind of like Gotham really, really well.
Yeah, I think that
Um,
they've been missing that since Batman Begins to me. Because I think Batman Begins did that
yeah,
pretty well too.
yeah. Even the Dark Knight, it's like it's a great movie, but it definitely kind of lacks that
Yes,
atmosphere.
100% agree. Yeah, this had it, which was like noticeable right off the bat and reminded me of Batman Begins.
Yeah, um, yeah. I really like the opening of the movie with the narration. Feels like a detective story. I liked all the detective crime aspects of this movie a lot. I thought that was really fun.
Same.
Yeah, I
And
always
yeah,
liked that part about Batman.
it felt like a horror movie, and you know how much I like those. So it felt like this like creeping, like this thing is gonna get these guys, And that first fight scene was really cool. Uh, I like all the fight scenes in this. They feel very, I don't know, they feel very natural. At least I thought. I like the one at the end, or toward the end, in the hallway where like it's like pitch black, and like the guys are shooting their guns, and
Oh,
like that's the only thing lighting the hallway.
it's so sick.
Yeah, just like really cool uh visual like sequences in this movie. Um
Is it bad that I don't remember that scene at all?
It's the scene in the
Really?
trailer
It's not.
too.
It's not coming to
Yeah,
me at
I mean
all.
it was in the trailer.
The
But
one
it's
where
not.
he's literally just getting shot and not like he's just walking in the hallway while they're shooting him, and he's just
I cannot picture that scene in my head. No,
not even from the trailer. That was like the highlight of the
no,
trailer.
no. I'm not.
What?
I'm not recalling that scene at all.
I bet if you see it, you're gonna be like, "Oh,
Probably, but yeah, just off the top of my head, I don't even remember that scene.
no
This is a
way,
long
bro."
movie.
That's
I don't
probably the
remember.
coolest
Honestly,
moment.
like none of the action scenes really stood out to me all that much.
What
Except
about
maybe
him
like the
throwing the
beginning one.
fucking bat at the guy with a shotgun?
Did he? I don't even remember that.
It's right when he gets into the iceberg lounge, and the two guys he's fighting on the catwalk, and they're aiming shotguns at him. He shoots the guy's leg with his like grapple hook,
Oh, okay, I
and
remember
then there's
that.
a guy behind,
Yeah.
and he like is holding the bat from the guy he just killed next to him. So some guy comes up with a gun right behind him. He's like, "Don't fucking move!" And he just chucks it and just destroys the guy. It's so good. That was so funny.
I completely forgot about that part.
Dude, it was a split second. If any,
That's
I
probably
wouldn't be
why.
surprised if anyone forgot about that one. But I thought it
I
was
did forget about that one.
I
Yeah,
was
I liked the car chase too with the Batmobile.
oh, so
That was
The
good.
the reveal of the Batmobile was like that got the
scary.
audience like hyped.
Yeah.
That was
Batmobile.
really cool.
Did anyone in
Uh,
your guys' movie theater like crowd wise do anything during any of the parts?
I think people cheered at the Batmobile. I don't know. There's not like really a lot of cheer worthy. It's not like that kind of movie.
Well, not cheer.
Man,
but,
no
like,
one cheered in my theater.
I didn't have any cheering, but I had two
You weren't
moments.
cheering to yourself while
Woo!
watching the movie. Well,
I was not. That was not.
You're just just like fucking everyone's experience.
Yeah.
Well, we already saw that in the trailer, so I already kind of knew about like Batmobile stuff. They already showed that. So.
Yeah, but there was.
If they didn't, I would have been like, oh.
Yeah, I only asked because that was one of two moments, that not everyone in the theater went crazy because it was a full theater, but it was like it wasn't. I didn't see it right when it came out, but that got a reaction out of everybody. Like when he started revving the engine and it moved up a little bit, everyone was like, "Oh!" Like everyone was like doing the quick, like the low, like "Oh shit!" Like it was so sick. Oh, I
I
love.
think I remember a lot of people laughing at some of the penguin lines. I thought the penguin was really
Penguin
funny
was
in this
fine.
movie. Yeah.
The second part for me was the part where also I just love this part where he was tied up walking like a penguin as they left.
Yeah, that was a
Everyone
nice
was like,
little.
"Oh," and then that was it.
Yeah,
That's
that
all
was
I got
fun.
out of the theater for those two.
Yeah, I like the whole scene with Commissioner Gordon. I like Commissioner Gordon a lot in this movie.
Love.
I
liked him a
don't know
lot,
if
too.
he's. I don't know if it's very. I don't know how to compare it to Gary Oldman, but I liked.
I still like Gary Oldman more, but I mean that's
hard to say. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
I still
3
really.
movies with him.
I don't remember the name of the actor, but I enjoyed his Gordon quite a bit.
I just
Yeah,
watched Book of
Jeffrey
Eli.
Wright.
So Book of Eli Gordon is in my head.
He was good.
Is he in Book of Eli, Jeffrey Wright, or
No, the other one. What's his name?
Gary
Commissioner
Oldman?
Gordon. Yeah, Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman was.
He's
just-
the main bad guy.
Oh
good.
yeah. Oh, I forgot he was in Book of Eli. That's right.
So that's like in my head, so I don't think I can make a fair comparison.
Well, yeah, Gary Oldman's like one of the best actors around. Like it's
Love
hard to
him.
beat that. But yeah, I thought he was funny in this movie, kind of. Like when they find the thumb drive, you know.
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
Mhm.
the drive with the severed thumb attached to it. What does he say? He says, "Oh, he's like, oh, this guy's hilarious."
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. Yeah, I like the humor in this movie actually worked pretty well. I think because it wasn't like shoving it in your face or anything. It felt like more natural, like character wise. Yeah, Commissioner Gordon I thought was great. I liked the scene where he's like, you know, give the Batman and I like the room for a second. And they just like he immediately just starts like whispering like, you gotta get out of here. Like,
What a homie Gordon.
Yeah, I like Commissioner Gordon. I kind of agree with you, Will. I don't think the Catwoman stuff in this movie is all that great.
Dude, I don't know what's up with the live action Catwoman's because I thought like Catwoman was one of the weaker parts of Dark Knight Rises too. Like I think
Yeah.
This actress though was a bit more convincing in the role than Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, I thought Zoe Kravitz did a good job for what she had.
Yeah, but I'm just not like the last. It's like 2 live action versions of Catwoman, and it's just like
What about
I don't-
Halle Berry?
The best.
oh,
The
dude,
best
I forgot about that. Thanks for
Oh,
reminding me.
Top
jerk.
tier. Top tier, man.
Yeah, I
well,
mean, yeah, I think this is the best Catwoman we've gotten so far. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen like the 60s Batman movie with Adam West. I know Catwoman's in that. It was funny. I watched James Rolfe's review on the Batman. You know, like Angry Video Game Nerd, and at the end he was like, "This is the only Batman movie since the Adam West Batman movie that has the Penguin, the Riddler, the Joker, and Catwoman all in it." I thought that was
Yeah,
funny. I
that's
was like,
sick.
I wonder if that was intentional. That's like too weirdly coincidental. But yeah, I don't know how Eartha Kitt was as Catwoman, but yeah, in recent years, it's like, no, they don't know what to do with her. I feel.
Yeah.
I
I
like
think like the most
some of the
recent one I
story
can think
stuff
of
with her.
is like the Arkham game Catwoman's.
Oh
really
yeah,
good.
but I mean,
I know that's a game, but still, it's
yeah.
like why can't we get that version? That just straight out of the comics, like just a perfect version of the character. We just can't seem to get that in a movie.
And you
I don't know.
you mentioned the Arkham games. Like I saw it with my friend David, and he loves the Arkham games, and he was saying like how like this movie felt a lot like the Arkham games. I've only played a little bit of Arkham Asylum, I think, but I know you've played them all, right? Well, did you
Yes.
feel like this movie kind of felt like the games, don't you think? Or
I could definitely see it. Yeah, I could see
Sorry,
it.
taking a
I
drink of
think
water.
I think there's also definitely some inspiration from Nolan's movies too, though. In this,
Yeah, especially with just how grounded it feels, and it. I haven't read too many Batman comics, but I had to read Batman Year One for a comics class, and I liked it. But this definitely felt like it took a lot from that, and
yeah, early Batman.
maybe Long Halloween. I haven't read Long
Yeah,
Halloween yet.
yeah. Long Haul.
Okay.
I've read. So you know who the reason I bought the Long Halloween comics and Year One, they're the only Batman comics I own, is because of Nick.
Oh yeah, your friend Nick. Yeah.
Yeah, he because he's all into that, and I think the way it went down is because it was right after The Dark Knight Rises, I think, give her around that time, and I was like, dude, what are some like good Batman comics? And he gave, so I've read those, and I also watched the Long Halloween animated movies. Well, I guess movie, but it's in parts, and they're all like a full length. But yeah, it's literally like Year One and the Long Halloween combined, and obviously there's some original stuff. It's a different movie completely, but a lot of that stuff plays a part, like where it literally starts on Halloween, and it's a 3 hour long
Yeah.
fucking movie, and just like the Long Halloween, kind of like technically the story starts on Halloween, and it's fucking forever, and I thought they had a lot of similarities, especially when it comes to like the un unapologetic violence that good old Bruce deals out on these guys with just
Yeah,
nothing held back.
he just beats the shit out of
I
people in this
fucking
movie.
love it. Oh god. I know it was in the trailer. I wish that opening scene of him beating up all of the thugs wasn't in the trailer, man. Cause like
I honestly feel
oh,
like that whole scene could have just been the trailer.
dude, if it
You
was
know?
just the trailer, that's a different story. But since they had so much other stuff, I wish they didn't put it in there because I love it, man. Especially at the end when he injects himself with what I assume to be adrenaline, even though it was like
Yeah.
green. It was like a Bane serum. And then he just like starts going in on the guy, and it like, man. And then they
Yeah,
showed
his
his
like
face
berserker
after, and his
serum.
nose looked like a fucking lightning bolt. And it
Oh
was
yeah.
insane, and you can hear, you can barely breathe. I love seeing a young Bruce Wayne just kind of like no Bruce Wayne is this Bruce Wayne. It's just fully Batman. Like, and then obviously they made it obvious that he didn't give a shit about philanthropy and a family name, like especially because he kept like he would like use his dad's name in vain or something like that. Like every time he brought it up, it was like this sarcastic joke against Alfred, like with the sleeve clasp things, and
Yeah.
it's like, "Are you a Wayne?" Even though he doesn't give a shit, and then he came clap back, and I don't know. I love seeing Batman, and I guess Bruce Wayne is very respectable because if you're gonna treat him as a separate character, because he kind of really is. I never got into that kind of fandom. I could care less about the Bruce Wayne part of him, so that's also why I like this movies, because it's just pure emo fucking Batman just taking shit out every night. Like I love it so much. But I mean I do like the Bruce Wayne scenes with uh Christian
Alfred.
Bale a lot. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, Christian Bale.
But because it just makes him fun. But oh man. Yeah, I don't want to rant forever on that, but yeah, I love the actual Batman aspect. And the Long Halloween is really cool too. Speaking of, I'm gonna watch that again because that's crazy.
Yeah, how did you guys I guess we talk about like Robert Pattinson as Batman yet?
Sure, not really. No.
No.
I thought he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I liked him a lot as Batman.
I thought it
Yeah,
was
it's
great.
maybe my favorite Batman. I don't
He's
know. What do
good.
you guys feel?
I don't know if I'd say he's my favorite. there are still things I prefer about the Christian Bale. I know people will, say funny things about the voice and everything, but which I'm glad Robert Pattinson didn't try to do that type of voice. But,
Yeah, I liked.
I mean, it's fun. I know it's
voice.
fun to make fun of the Christian Bale Batman voice, but it's like it's kind of iconic too.
Oh, it's sick.
Oh yeah,
I've never made fun of it actually thinking it was weird. I think it's sick. I think it's awesome. And it's intimidating.
I do too. I mean, it's fun. It is fun to make fun of, though. But it's part of the fun. But I definitely think that there were aspects of Pattinson's Batman that I liked more than Christian Bale's. But I'm still kind of on the fence on which version I prefer. But I overall really liked Robert Pattinson's Batman.
Yeah,
and
Bruce Wayne was like a little weird, but I think that was probably the point.
I was not...
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be early on. Like he says, it's like I think he's like writing in the journal. It's like the second year of him being
It is.
Batman.
Yeah.
So
Wonder why it
he's
wasn't
still,
just
like,
like the
younger.
first year.
Yeah. Well, I guess if they did year one, it would, because year one is basically it's more about Batman and Gordon.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah,
sucked
that's
at
what
being
this
a
kind of felt like
detective.
too, though. Like you could tell they were a little further on in the relationship, but
Yeah, I liked the relationship a lot between Batman and Gordon.
I did too. It just felt more like year one-ish than, I don't know, knowing each other for 2 years. It still seemed pretty distant. I don't know. It's just like a nitpick of mine, I guess.
Was it year
But it's still
one?
good.
Am I getting this wrong? Year one is the one where he's like not a good detective yet, right? Like he's still like
Pretty much.
So
Yeah,
I am
he's
so fucking glad that that wasn't a thing in this. I was really hoping. I had a very few. I didn't want to hype myself up too much for this movie, which is really hard. But there were a few things I didn't want to hype myself up for because I would be so let down. One of them, out of like the three, was that.
him being a good detective.
Yeah, like I'm so glad it was just immediate. Like you could, he's like he's gotten past that point of Batman. Like he's good to go on the detective part. I'm sure he's got more work to do until the greatest, the world's greatest detective title. But just like the instant riddle stuff that he knew, and looking like in the very beginning of the movie, which I guess it's really obvious, but I didn't catch it the first watch through. Is in the very beginning when he looks on the ground and he sees the outline of the murder tool. Where it's like a blood, it's like a line on the ground. It flashes on the ground. He's staring at it. And then it was that carpet tool that he uses at the end. And he mentions it like way, like at the end when he picks that up, he's like, oh, it's the murder tool. And he knew it was like left on the floor because of the shape he looked at in the beginning. Just like his memory was good. I just think it was so cool because I can't imagine having a serial killer Zodiac type character and him being a bad detective. That would have like rustled my ginnies.
He like never figure it out.
Yeah, he just fucking. Well, technically, I mean, it didn't matter. He still fucking got away with it. I mean, like he didn't really stop anything. But man, yeah, I love that he was. I just think it's so cool. Like he's a detective and he's good at it. I think that's something that the Dark Knight stuff didn't have either. The detective part, but
no, it had some stuff, but not to this extent.
Yeah,
I did like how low tech everything felt in this movie, like visually. Everything was like
that was like the opposite of the Dark Knight, I think.
Yeah,
the Dark Knight definitely felt like he had a lot more tech and gadgets to kind of do some of the work for him, whereas in this one, just like I can just find whatever I can get and put it together.
Yeah, like
he didn't really have like a lot of gadgets, really. Like not really.
Yeah, the one that stuck out to me is the eye thing, like the contact lens, and it's like a camera. That was cool. Yeah, I liked the look of everything visually in this movie, and like production wise, I thought it was awesome. There weren't really any special effects that like looked bad to me in this movie. Yeah, I don't know. Everything was really cool. I wanted to ask, like, what did you guys think of Alfred? Andy Serkis as Alfred.
Because
I thought he was.
I wasn't really digging his version too much, but then again, he was only in like 2 scenes or 3.
Yeah.
He was barely in it, and I definitely did not like him more than
Michael Caine. I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like comparing the other guy to Gary Oldman, but I I don't know. The Nolan films just made me care a lot more about Alfred. This
I think they made me care about the characters more in general. I
that's what I
really
think
I
too,
like
for
this
me at
movie a
least.
lot, but there is like a certain lack of like really strongly caring about these characters, in my opinion. Like the first time I saw it, by the end, I was sort of like, that was like really good, but I didn't like really feel anything for like the characters, you know?
See, that's why I'm kind of comparing this with Batman Begins, because I felt similar towards that with Batman Begins, where like with this movie too, it's like it's got all the right pieces, but it's like not quite there in some aspects.
I thought on that subject, I don't know why I keep going to the end, but at the very end when him and Catwoman part ways on the motorcycles, useless. I didn't give a fuck whether they would never see each other again.
I didn't either. Like I was not into the relationship.
Useless. It was so fucking long too. It was like a 5-minute shot, dude, and then they keep going, and I'm like, dude, enough. Like I literally don't care about like them going their separate ways.
I liked the way it was like shot and everything, but I agree. Like
cool.
I didn't like really feel anything.
No,
you know? It was kind of like predictable, I guess. It's like, oh yeah, well, Catwoman's not
kind of like it with The Dark Knight Rises too, in his like relationship with Catwoman in that movie.
Yeah, well, that she was like, I don't know.
Oh,
it was okay. I mean, they kind of got together at the end of Dark
I know.
Knight
I'm just saying, man. That's like 2 for 2. Like lately with when these Batman movies doing Catwoman.
She's just like a good thief in both of these films so far.
much.
Like she's just a good thief. That's it. It has nothing to do with Catwoman. It's like, dude,
she barely did like any thieving. I thought in this movie, she was kind of more
in the beginning,
more focused on this. Yeah, but like more focused on like
the money from.
Yeah, that's kind of it. Everything else is like she's trying to find her roommate or whatever, and then she's also like trying to take down Falcone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I liked John Turturro as Falcone. I thought he was really good.
That was sick. I didn't expect him to be in that movie at all. I was like, oh, lit. But dude, there's always a part of me, and I don't hate him for it, but there's always a part of me every time I see him for the first millisecond, I'm like, oh, Transformers, and then I'm like, oh, never mind. Like, dude, I can't. I can't get him out of my mind. I thought that character was terribly hilarious, and I can't get over it. So even now when I see him, I'm like, fuck, man, I can't get over it. But
I always think of him from like Coen Brothers movies, like Big Lebowski. He's the Jesus in the Big Lebowski.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, really? Oh, it's a good movie.
That's one of the big movies I haven't seen.
He's also really good in Barton Fink. I think that's my favorite role from him.
I haven't heard of that one. Is that older?
That's another Coen Brothers movie. That was like 91, so it's
not
really old. I mean,
wait, real quick before I forget, it was Charles Murphy that plays Alfred, right?
In this movie?
Yeah. Wait, who plays Alfred?
Andy Serkis.
Oh, okay. So tell me if I'm wrong here.
Because it's Matt Reeves, and he did the Planet of the Apes movies.
He looks. This version of him, of Alfred, looks exactly the same as Charles Murphy's villain in Black Panther.
Yeah, he's in Black Panther. Yeah,
isn't he the villain?
He's the villain. Yes.
Oh,
yes,
Claw. Oh, this article is completely wrong. It says his name is Charles Murphy. I don't know names. If you haven't noticed, dude, they look the exact same, and I instantly remembered that. I was like, wait,
like, I didn't even think of it. I kind of forgot he was in Black Panther for a second there,
dude. Yeah, I was like, wait.
Yeah, he was in Black Panther.
There's a fucking multiverse in here, man. They look the exact same. They even wear similar shit.
He's one of those actors that you like. Usually, he's in parts that is being motion captured, like Gollum in the Lord of the Rings movies, and Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movies. Which I really like the Planet of the Apes movies. I like the ones that Matt Reeves did.
I've never seen a Lord of the Rings movie.
Really?
Oh, fuck off!
I'm not kidding. I've seen
they're so good.
Clips, but...
That's surprising.
I'd love to do them, but they're pretty long.
Yeah, very long.
I'm not doing that.
Even the standard versions are long.
Dude,
Oh,
I'm
you
not.
gotta see
That's
him at
the only
some
reason I
point.
haven't. I can't.
Yeah,
sit
you
through
should
that.
see him at least once.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck, man. Eventually,
good.
I will.
I'm
Eventually.
trying to think of other characters in this that I wanted to talk about. I think that's like pretty much all the major characters, right? I mean, like we didn't talk about
Yeah.
Joker, but
He's
he's
not a
in like
main.
one. He's really just like
That's
a
deleted scene too. So.
yeah. Well, he's like in the movie,
At the end in the jail.
Oh yeah, you just hear his
but
voice.
yeah, I didn't see the deleted scene that like got posted later.
That one's
but
cool.
I haven't seen
uh,
that yet either.
It's sick.
I
It
like
doesn't fit in the movie at all with the way it's like the finished product is. They're like it just wouldn't make sense to me, but
I
it's
guess
pretty
that's why
cool.
they deleted it.
yeah.
Dude, it's like full quality too. Usually, you know, I'm like thinking some set shit in the background isn't going to be done or something. It was like full on, like
Maybe it was like a last minute cut.
yeah.
I have to say, I was really scared when that scene came up, like while watching it in the theater, with the Joker, and I was like, oh god, it's gonna be the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, isn't it? They're gonna tie all this shit together, aren't they?
Imagine.
And then I was like, oh no, wait, he like killed, or like Thomas Wayne died in that one. He was like a different guy, whatever. But I was like, oh god, I got like really scared. It's like, fuck, I don't want that.
Yeah,
Not that
would've been
Joaquin Phoenix did a bad job. I just like, I like that they're standalone movies. You know,
Well,
I don't think they need to be connected. I definitely want to see a sequel to this movie, though. I liked.
I would too. Yeah,
they
I'm definitely
confirmed
excited
it,
for a
right?
sequel.
Already?
Yeah, they
I
already
mean,
said that it was
yeah,
gonna be a
of course.
trilogy, so I'm excited.
Yeah,
for-
yeah. I really like the last act of this movie was like really intense. Just with yeah, I mean, like Riddler basically becomes like a terrorist, and they like bomb all the floodgates.
Am I the only one that found that kind of funny that like his ultimate goal is just to flood Gotham? I don't know. That's just not
Kind of
what I
funny.
expected. It's just like,
I mean,
oh, that's his plan.
It's
I'm
like
just gonna flood Gotham.
it's like simple sounding, but at the same time, it's like you literally that's like one of the easiest ways he could have possibly just destroyed the whole city and killed everybody. It was like
Pretty
a few
much.
bombs near some
I don't know.
water.
It just doesn't seem like something I remember the Riddler really doing.
But it's not like the
No.
Riddler. I think that was more a part of like modern day like terrorism and like crazy
Flood-
fucking
to
people. Like
flood the
have you
city?
read any of the like
I've never heard
all
any
these
terrorist
stories
flooding
of like
cities.
the FBI catching people like halfway through their terrorist plot are exactly like these, just like weird, fucked up people that got like. I mean, the movie got away with it, but in real life, they have like these elaborate, crazy things that in real life, if they happen, they'd be gnarly, but just kind of like that. And in the scale of the movie, it did seem
They'd be gnarly. Dustin,
downplayed.
2022.
That was gnarly. When all
What?
those people died,
Just a flood.
got
not-
flooded.
I'm not saying it positively. Like,
You used the word
No,
gnarly though.
I get what you
Who
mean.
does that? Yeah, we're just joking around though.
I don't know, man.
I just wanted to say I thought that was kind of funny when it revealed like his plan. I'm just I think I like
Yeah,
out loud said like that. It's just to flood people. That's the plan. You're just gonna flood the city.
I
killed
wanted to
like
say,
half of them.
I know.
I feel like. Oh well, were gonna say something?
No, I was just like, well, yeah, I guess that's like an effective way to just kill a lot of people. But I thought his whole thing was like he wanted revenge
To
against the
expose.
Waynes and stuff like that, and then he
I
just
think his
floods the
whole idea
place.
was like the renewal thing.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to renew Gotham or something, or like
I
almost
guess
like
cleansing
reform
it
it.
and killing
Yeah,
everybody.
I
Yeah,
guess.
that's villain. It's villain logic. But
Yeah,
I guess
Fucking
I
insane.
know. I just
like
thought it was
Thanos
funny. I
logic
don't know
or
why.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I want to say I felt like this would have been an amazing miniseries if they
Yeah.
like kind of like okay, have like the Halloween day be or like night be one episode, and like have these like maybe like 4 episodes all together, and just like kind of give more room to like develop the characters a bit more or something. But I still like the movie a lot, but this is like one of those instances where I was actually kind of like I kind of wanted more out of the movie.
I feel pretty similar.
Yeah.
Like,
be
I
down
still
with
really
that.
like
I keep saying like the right pieces are there. Like the actors are good, the cinematography, like the writing, like
Yeah.
everything's kind of there. It just, I think that's why I'm hoping like that their next movie is like Dark Knight level, where Batman Begins, like Nolan had like all the right pieces and parts, and then we got the Dark Knight. So I'm thinking a similar thing can happen with this series. That's my hope.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of confidence in this director now. It's funny because I think like before the Planet of the Apes movies, he did like Cloverfield, which
Oh yeah,
was
I
okay.
love that movie.
I don't know.
I am not a fan of the first Cloverfield.
Yeah, I will.
I got motion sickness watching it.
True,
Yeah,
that shit
no
is
joke.
shaky as hell. Oh my god,
I've never gotten motion sick watching a movie except that one.
It's bad.
Yeah, and he also did Let Me In, which was a remake of a Swedish vampire movie called Let the Right One In, and it was like an okay movie, but it was kind of like, okay, why does this exist when you can just watch the original? So I'm really glad that like it seems like he's gotten better with each movie that he's made. This is probably my favorite movie that he's done, and I really liked War for the Planet of the Apes. That was pretty good. But yeah, I really like this movie. I wanted to mention the music in the movie. I thought it was really good.
I have a playlist of it, and I play it coming home from work.
It's nice that at least Batman gets good music for like, because a lot of these superhero movies don't seem to like make a good theme music, like, you know, track for their superheroes anymore.
They kind of, yeah, they used to.
In my ass.
I have to say the use of that song, the Nirvana song, was like a little jarring at first, but I think it worked really well.
Perfect, dude.
Yeah, especially the second time, I really liked how they used it. Also, I don't know, I had no idea it was Kurt Cobain. I had no idea it was Nirvana the first time seeing it, and I was like, "Who did this song?" It sounds like
really.
I was like, the singer sounds so familiar.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I didn't think of Kurt Cobain. I'm like,
oh, yeah,
I'm like musically challenged.
My
But yeah, I love the use of the song.
My favorite movie of all time, which I kind of just put at the top because I've seen it the most, also has this song in it, which is unfortunate. So I couldn't. Jarhead, and it's the scene in Jarhead where he has a nightmare and he's puking up sand, and they're playing this song, and so there's an unfortunate side to this the song in the Batman for me, because I don't get the full effect of it, because I immediately just go to that Jarhead, the movie, and I think of that scene no matter what. I've seen that movie hundreds of times, so I can't like get it out of my head. So I was like, fuck, man, I wish I had never seen Jarhead, so I could like, there's just a piece missing. I thought it was epic, but there was something missing, man, and I was like, I can't get over it, dude. But I love that song. My favorite scene in the Batman is only due to the soundtrack playing at the time. Also, kind of the Penguin is when he goes to the Iceberg Lounge to talk to the Penguin. He meets Selena Kyle for the first time when she like does a drop with him, with the Penguin, while Batman's there questioning the Penguin. The muffled club music in the background. One, I love club music, and I thought it was fucking epic. And then at the same time, they just chose the most stressful, like continually building beat and song possible for like the tenseness of the conversation and like the assholeness of Penguin, and then like Batman figuring out shit while looking at Selena Kyle, like the boot she was wearing. And if you go back and listen to the song, maybe after this, you'll see what I'm saying. It's just constantly on the up and up, and it like builds pressure, and it's my favorite scene in the whole movie. I think it's so cool.
Can I just say really quick? You just made me remember this scene, Dustin.
What?
Am I the only one that found this scene like pretty funny? Like we just had the part with the Penguin, like when they're like interrogating him. He's like, "Am I the only one that knows the difference between L and la?"
Oh yeah,
that
was really funny.
That was hilarious. That was good. What did he say? And then he was like, he's like, "Your Spanish ain't too good, ain't it?" Or something like. He says,
he's like, "No hablas the old gentleman."
Yeah,
or something like that.
dude. So
yeah, that was funny.
Great.
That just popped back into my head, so I just had to mention it.
I forgot about that. That's a great scene. That's a really funny one. Did you say, Julian? You said the theater laughed at that one.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
it?
I think that got a big laugh out of the theater.
That's funny.
Not like a huge one, but like
Yeah.
everyone kind of like,
The
oh,
most like
yeah.
Italian mobster knows Spanish better than like the like. It's like so funny to me. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else I want to mention about the movie. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was like really really solid, and that's like a lot of. There's so many superhero movies now that it can kind of get fatiguing, but this was pretty fresh to me. This was like pretty damn good. I liked all the crime elements and stuff, and yeah, the noir detective stuff. Yeah, I guess it's just like missing something about just something to make me really like love these characters like I did with The Dark Knight. Like I can still I think I watched it like last year, like rewatched it, but like man, like every performance in that movie is like great. I love like Two-Face in that movie. Like the last scene's great. The scenes where like Michael Caine is just crying like make me like really sad.
Fuck, man,
Best
that's
Alfred
so
still.
hard.
Yeah,
That's so
he's
hard.
he's the best Alfred. That's gonna be really
Yeah.
hard to top.
Agreed.
So yeah, I really like the movie. I don't know. Should we get into ratings, or is there anything else you guys had to say
I
about
have
the movie?
2 questions for you, gentlemen. Actually, I'll narrow it down to one because it doesn't matter. Actually, now I'll narrow it down to one because I already know your answer. Do you think this is a 2-parter? Because the second part's more of my theory. Do you like this Batmobile or Bale's Batmobile better? And the reason I also doubt my own question is because I feel like in the next Batman movie, he's gonna have a different Batmobile. It's like more upgraded and it looks more. I love this one. Do not get me wrong. I see no flaw. I love this muscle car look and the sound, and it's fucking sick. But I think I have an inkling that along with him successfully landing on a bus in the next movie rather than falling and eating shit, he's also going to have an upgraded Batmobile. I think it's going to have more armor on it or something to make it not look different like a whole new car, but I think it's going to be sleek. So it's hard for me to compare because I feel like they're going to do something different. Also, the technology on the other one is crazy, but I like which one, just at a fan level, like which one do you prefer? This one or
So this
Bale's?
first the Tumblr then, right?
Yeah, the Tumblr.
Definitely the Tumblr for me. But we got to see we got 3 movies worth of that, Batmobile, whereas we just got one, and it only had like 2, like that chasing was like the only time it showed up. I liked the Batmobile in this one a lot, but yeah, the Tumblr is like iconic. I love the Tumblr like as soon as we see it.
Agreed.
It's just, I mean, I don't think that's like too fair to compare them.
Yeah,
because we get to see like
Tumblr's
the
better.
Tumblr, like I said, it's got 3 movies and had even in just Batman Begins, it was I think in it a lot more
he's got
than
the-
the one in this.
Yeah.
He's got the
But
fucking motorcycle in it too.
The Tumblr is just like, it's just so cool.
I think
I
I remember
like it a lot.
what the Tumblr look. I don't know if I remember what the Batmobile actually looks like in this movie.
In this one? Oh, I love it in this one.
Yeah.
Just because it looks like a regular, just like an up armored muscle car. It's not even he just built it from scratch with a
I
frame
mean, I think-
of like whatever.
It worked
I
for
think my
this.
favorite Batmobile is honestly the Tim Burton one. I like the
That
design
one's
of that
sick.
one a lot.
Yeah, that one's really
Yeah.
good too.
That one's
It's
like
really like
classic.
stylized.
Yeah,
Um,
it's much more like comic.
but these
accurate,
are
too.
these
Like,
are
the
really
Tumblr.
great,
Like
so
much as I like the
they're
Tumblr,
really
it's not very comic book accurate, but it's just
I-
it's still so cool. I love the
Yeah,
Tumblr.
Yeah, I mean these movies are going for a grounded feeling. I
Yes.
get why it's different.
Dude, I think honestly, this is my crazy theory, man. I really do think they're not gonna make it like Tim Burton's, but I really think in the next movie, or maybe in the next one, that his Batmobile is gonna end up looking more comic book accurate than the Tumblr. It's just my little thing. I don't think
yeah,
they're
for
gonna
sure.
go.
I think so too.
Like maybe some little wing things on the back or something. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just feel like they're
as
gonna
close as
up-armor that
they
shit.
as close as they can with still feeling
I
grounded.
Yeah.
cannot wait to see how they do like a modern, down to earth fucking Batwing. That is gonna be sick. And they kind of did that with Christian Bale. That really was that could have been a
Yeah.
concept I would
Yeah,
believe.
but
If
I
saw
liked
it.
the Batwing like a version of it in The Dark Knight Rises.
That scene was sick in the whole. Man, Batman movies are pretty good.
Yeah, but the Tumbler though is so iconic, and I love
is.
the Tumbler. It's just such a cool vehicle. So
And all the different
I love the
variations,
motorcycle.
yeah, the
That-
motorcycle was cool
awesome.
too. Like with the Tumbler wheels was great.
That was such a cool scene too. In the original movie, wasn't like a homeless guy watching when he used it for the first time. He was like, remember, he was like
Batman
charging it up or
Begins,
something.
or in Batman Begins or The Dark Knight?
In The Dark Knight Rises, there's like a homeless guy staring at him, and then the motorcycle launches out, and then he's like, "Whoa!" And then it cuts back, and it's like self-destruct activated, and then
It's
Batmobile-
honestly
Well,
been a
that was in The
while
Dark Knight. The
since-
whole like the
Was
Tumbler
it?
was going to self-destruct, and then he launches out.
Okay, that one then. Yeah,
Yeah, that was in The Dark Knight.
Dude,
Yeah, and the kids.
Yeah, I
were,
think
like,
it was. I
watching.
think it was. Yeah, I think it was a homeless guy though, where he was like there seeing like the,
so cool.
the motorcycle come out of the tumbler. Because that was cool about that is like it was just like part of the tumbler, like it used the tumbler's
Yeah,
wheels
dude.
and just came out of it like that was really sick.
I wonder if
Yeah.
I always wondered in my theory, just quick off topic. I always wondered if he had two motorcycles in there, like he could go to either side if one of the wheels was
Good
fucked. I don't know.
question.
Weird theory, but
We-
whatever.
You never get to find out.
Yeah, that's
I think
yeah, that was my question.
That's the cool thing about Batman, though, is like there's all these different things that you can kind of focus on. Like the Nolan films were very focused on like his gadgets and the tech, and this movie's like very focused on like detective stuff, and like they have pretty different tones. I would love like another movie that was like really campy, like the '60s Batman, and even like I haven't seen Batman and Robin, but like I kind of want another campy Batman too at some point.
Yeah, no one really does campy
maybe on a
versions
smaller
anymore.
scale. Yeah, I kind of like think that would be kind of great.
If Arnold does not come back as Mr. Freeze, we have a problem.
Oh yeah, I think they said Mr. Freeze was like a villain that they're thinking about
Might do
doing
the
for
second
next
one.
movie.
I'd like them to do
Reviews.
Hush. I would probably like to see Hush. That whole
I don't
story.
know too much about
Second
Hush,
one.
but
A lot of people have been talking about Hush, and I don't
I
know
think that
anything about him.
I know very
I don't.
little.
Yeah, I don't
like,
know
just
anything
from
either.
just from like the Arkham games and like
He looks
some
cool.
other stuff. Yeah, I just think that he would work really well for this type of movie.
He seems like a realistic type
Yeah.
villain too to me. He's not like a crazy comic booky wacky.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like Bruce's childhood friend, and like he surgically
Ooh.
makes his face look like Bruce Wayne's, and I
That's
think they could do
sick.
some really cool stuff like that. So I'd like to see Hush.
That's
Mr.
pretty-
Freeze would be cool too, but like if they're going like for this much more grounded tone feel, like how would Mr. Freeze work? You know?
I'm with
I don't
you.
know,
with
but
that.
I'd like to
they
see them
said
try,
they were
'cause-
considering it.
Yeah, I always wanted to see Nolan do Mr. Freeze. So like, come on,
Yeah.
let's get Mr. Freeze. It's time. It's
Well,
time
I wanted
Mr.
to
Freeze
see.
again.
I wanted to see Nolan do the Riddler.
Riddler. Yeah, that's what we were originally hoping for in The Dark Knight Rises.
Mhm.
So I'm
and
kind of glad
it
we
was big.
finally got him.
Yeah,
like, a
Riddler's
good
great.
version of it.
I think he's pretty underrated.
Yeah.
One other. This is the last thing I have to say, honestly.
Okay.
Unless you guys. bring
Are you
something
sure
up.
about that?
I am. One part I thought was very. I've been paying more attention to sound design when it comes to like realism type stuff, and more recently in movies and just even TV shows and whatever, because it gets on my nerves when it's bad. For some reason, my brain just it hears sometimes like bad sound design or like inaccurate noises, and it's like, dude, like I hate it. But this movie does such a good job with very subtle things where if you don't think about it, you don't realize how good it is. And it's the part at the end of the Batman chase with the Penguin where Penguin's car flips, Batman gets out and he's walking over to him, and it's like it goes through his footsteps and they're just heavy as fuck. Like that, it's like he's not making them heavy on purpose. It's intimidating. They're heavy because he's wearing like 120 pounds of Kevlar. It's just like his body weight is just the most like a lot. Just I thought it was so cool. Like everything about him when he's with like against a villain or some kind of thug, everything is intimidating, right down to him just walking. And I think that's my second favorite part of the movie is him just walking right up to the car, like upside down, and then his boots in the rain. And I just that
was a really like hype moment.
so sick. That's bad.
Although it is kind of weird that like I know that they were Gordon and the Batman were like kind of like, you know, wary of the police at that point. But like it is funny that like, okay, the Penguin basically caused like a bunch of people to die in that car crash, and he gets like there's like no repercussions for it.
True. I didn't
It's
think
like,
about that.
what
You're right.
yeah, it's really weird, but whatever.
I'm assuming it was the Falcone cops that arrested him and they just let him go, I guess.
I don't know. Well, I mean that's when they tie him up and he like does the waddle. So they just leave him there.
Yeah.
That's his punishment. That's like not like someone definitely died in that truck that exploded. Like someone died. Like at least one person, man. So that was kind of weird, but I can forgive it. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else to say about this movie?
I think I've said pretty much most of my thoughts here.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked it.
It was good.
Yeah.
I still think it could have been a little shorter, though. I don't think it had to be 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't feel the length though. I mean,
I didn't really feel it either,
watching
but I still think they could have like cut some stuff out. Because I
Oh,
did
yeah.
think there were some scenes where it's like this didn't like really advance anything. Not like a whole lot, but you know, they could have trimmed some of the fat. But still very good overall.
Yeah, I was surprised. Second watch for me too. Like it didn't feel like 3 hours.
I'm definitely looking forward to a second watch for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Should we rate it? Okay, Will, you picked it. So what do you what do you give it?
I think my initial first viewing of it, I'm very confident I am going to go with like a 3.5 rating for it. Like I said, it's just shy of like a 4. I think if it had stronger characters, it could have been a 4. And I think if Catwoman was a little bit better, because she is like a pretty major part of the movie, and I really just did not care for her storyline. I just didn't care for the version of the character all that much. I think the actress did a good job with what she had, but all the Riddler stuff was really good. But yeah, if you're gonna focus like so much on the Catwoman and the Catwoman storyline, it just wasn't as engaging to me as like the rest of the film. And it's like they had 3 hours to make me care, and they just didn't. So yeah, I think 3.5 is a pretty good score for it. So I'm going with 3.5.
Yeah,
Catwoman's
I'm also going with 3.5. It's like missing just that certain X factor for me to like really love it.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
kind of
weird.
what I
It's
felt
like,
like.
but it's a really, really
It is still,
solid
it's still a really good movie.
Yeah. So yeah, 3.5 from me. Dustin, what would you give it?
I'm giving it a. It's always the extra 0.5 I got to think about, man. I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 4.5. I think. I think it's definitely more 0.5 than me than just 4. So I'm gonna give it that. I think it's one of those movies. Obviously, for everything I said, but I could literally watch that movie on repeat forever. I could just as well pay attention to it the whole time, or play it just in the background while I'm like fucking around on my computer. Like I could just do anything for it. So yeah.
All right. I'm calculating 3.5 plus 3.5 plus 4.5 divided by 3. That's a average rating of 3.8. And I think, oh man. Okay. So
It's tied with something, isn't it?
yes,
No way.
It's tied with the Evil Dead. So we'll do what we did last time.
Well,
with our tie.
I know Julian's.
I mean, okay, yeah, I'm gonna vote Evil Dead.
And let me
higher
guess,
than
Dustin's
the
gonna go
Batman.
with the Batman, and I'm gonna have to be the sign factor. Is that how it's gonna be?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly it, dude.
Julian will be pissed if I choose this over the Evil Dead, though.
Well, no, go with what you really think, though.
Yeah. Even if it's just a little bit, like
I mean, if I had to like choose like which one, like if someone were to ask, like, would you watch this or this? it feels unfair because I've seen the Evil Dead like twice and I've seen the Batman only once. So like, I would probably pick the Batman just because I've only seen it once. But like, which one did I enjoy more? Probably the Batman. Not much though. Not by much.
I think that's fair.
So I'll go with the Batman.
All right, so the Batman is higher than the Evil Dead. Fuck you guys.
Knew it. Called it.
Hey, you
No,
have to
that's-
take down the review now altogether. It's gone.
Just delete the whole channel.
It's over. Sorry, John
Uh,
Carter.
Sorry,
So that,
John
that
Carter.
also means that it is our fourth highest rated film so far. I guess, tied with Evil Dead, but yeah, so that's good. I'm glad it got a pretty high score. Yeah, what's next though, Dustin? It's your pick.
Let's
All right.
hear it.
I'm gonna come in hot. I'm gonna come in hot with a
Dustin's coming
strong.
hot.
I'm coming in
scared.
hot with a
I'm
very
really scared.
very strong opinion that
Oh,
I
dear.
know that you two do not agree with at all.
Oh
So
dear.
if you spend more than 30 minutes next week talking about how it isn't what I'm about to say, I got your fucking point. You don't need to rub it in, okay? I already know. I choose what, and a little bit of a spoiler for what I think about it, not rating wise. The funniest movie I have ever seen, and I think what is the funniest movie? Do you guys think or at least maybe Will, because we don't talk too much.
I
about it.
might have an idea.
What do you think it is? I'm curious.
Dude, where's my car?
Oh, that's a good one. No, that's top 3 though. Grown Ups, the first one with Adam Sandler.
Really? I've seen Grown Ups.
Wow.
That's one
I've
of
seen
the
it
funniest
too.
movies to you?
I think that is the funniest movie I have ever seen ever.
Oh dear.
I mean,
think
I didn't.
it is
I don't
great.
remember hating it. I heard the second one was
There's-
really bad.
The second one is not that great.
I don't
It's-
remember like a lot of it. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's
That
not
would,
like
that is not
fucking.
an Adam Sandler movie. I mean, I could
Oh,
think of at
dude.
least like 3 or 4 others that I find a lot funnier than that one. But okay.
Look, dude,
I think
already
Uncut
knew-
Gems was funnier than Grown
All
Ups.
right, all right.
That was good comedy.
Come on now. Like,
So,
I knew it wasn't popular.
so we're going.
considered,
So we're going with Grown Ups. That's your choice.
yeah, dude, Grown Ups one.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
on.
we're-
I'm not like against seeing it again. I haven't seen it in
I
like
don't
probably
think it's.
10 years. So
Yeah,
Where
I
can
don't think
people
it's
find
leaving
it?
soon, but it is on Netflix. I think it'll be on there for a while.
man, why has
It's-
this got to be our
yeah.
first Adam Sandler movie, man? Come on.
Is it on Netflix?
Yes,
Are you
It's on
sure?
Netflix.
Wait.
We better confirm.
it is
We
currently
better,
on Netflix.
we better make sure before we watch
I'm
Grown
staring at
Ups.
it. I'm staring at it on Netflix on the app right now. It's literally right
It's
here.
like it gets taken down the
Look.
next step or something.
It's Grown Ups, Netflix player. We're all in, baby.
All right.
I didn't see it, but
All right,
I
well,
did.
I have it up right here.
I'll pull it up. Let me see.
It's you don't have to. I'm staring at it. Like
I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm doing it anyway. I do it. No, don't go. Stop. No,
It's on Netflix.
we got to make sure. 'cause-
So why? I'm staring at it.
it is on
Netflix.
Netflix. He's not lying.
Motherfucker.
It's there.
No.
God
Oh
damn.
dear. We're already just shitting on this.
I'm shitting on it so much, man.
Oh, this is. I wish I could watch this with Julian.
Hey,
Like,
first of
that
all,
would be the highlight of the movie. Is
Hey,
just seeing
don't
Julian
expect me to
suffer.
give this thing a 5. I said it was the funniest movie of all time. I said nothing.
Shouldn't
about,
it get a 5 though? It's like okay, this is the funniest movie I've ever seen. It be like an
No.
automatic 5.
I
Like unironically,
what you brought up,
I don't know, just
Will,
me.
you do have a good point. Was I battled a lot in my head about what the first Adam Sandler movie should be on this, and I had to choose this one, man. It's not the best movie. It's
couldn't
not even
be
in the top
Best or Happy
5.
Gilmore.
It's not even in the top 5 best movies he's ever done. But I think just aside from just Adam Sandler stuff, I think it's the funniest. And I think if we're just comparing other Adam Sandler movies, Waterboy is number 2 for me.
Oh, I love Waterboy.
I love it. So funny, man. And a line from that recently, if you guys have watched a clip, like a sound bite from Waterboy. I'm getting off topic. It went viral. But yeah, fucking Grown Ups one.
All right.
First flubber and now this. Dustin, this is gonna be the end of me.
I'm getting some good choices in today, boys. We're going all in here. I'm going with the blockbusters. You know what I'm saying? Your face.
Julian's
All
still
of
gonna
your
look forward to
faces
this.
when I
You know, at
said
least
that.
with Flubber, you didn't really quite remember what to expect, Julian. But I think for this one, you clearly seem to know what we're getting into this time.
Don't
He's-
you fucking
he's saying
dare
it.
do that thing where you have a bad opinion and then you automatically make yourself hate it throughout the whole thing. You know for a fact. this
Have you
fucking-
met Julian? Have you met this guy? Sorry, have you met Julian?
I'll try to go in with an open mind.
No. I'm not even asking that much of you. But do not tell me you're gonna watch this 1.5 hour long movie and tell me there's not at least 3 funny ass parts in it. I'm not saying it's even near the top of funniest movie.
I
ever.
think that's a little too much to ask for Julian with this.
There's
movie,
no
Dustin.
way. There's
I
no
mean,
way.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll probably laugh at like
if you
a
don't
couple
come up
stuff.
with at
I
least
don't.
3,
I don't know
I'm gonna
about
be
Julian
pissed.
though.
I'm gonna be pissed if you don't come up with at least 3. Oh my god!
Right,
What was
I
that
will.
pitch?
Okay, I'll write down the parts that I laughed at.
Yes.
He's gonna hold it up. It's gonna be blank.
Yes.
I keep calling it. It's gonna be blank.
Oh god.
TJ
All
says
right, well-
nothing on a piece of paper. Oh god, I'd be so insulted, bro. Oh no.
Alrighty.
All right.
Well, there you go.
Next week is Grown Ups, directed by
Julian's
Dennis
so
Dugan.
excited.
Dude. He's
He's
pissed.
so, he can't contain his excitement.
Dude.
I'm not even gonna just stop the recording. I'm gonna end the fucking call, man. All right. Next week is Grown Ups. It's on Netflix if you want to watch along with us. And then we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye. Look forward to
Wait.
Julian's